Hi everyone, I'm out in the back garden. Now I haven't shown you much about the potager this year, have I? There's been some interruptions because we've had to go backwards and forwards to the UK a lot of times. But I've tried to keep up with it, I've done my best. So what I did do a few clips, I filmed a few things, so I'm going to put a few of those together so that you can get a gist of what's been going on. And then I'm going to go and give you a tour of how it is at the moment. So enjoy. Now, we've come back from the airport from dropping Tony's sister off to get her flight. And Tony's carrying on with the little job he started yesterday. It's lovely and sunny out here this afternoon. Now it's quite warm. He's in the sunshine anyway. Right, now that we're back from all our trips to the UK, and hopefully we're staying in France for a few weeks at least, I've been able to start getting on with my garden. I've dug all this bed over, got to take a little bit of the soil out there, and I've started planting a few seeds because I'm a little bit behind with some of these things. So I've planted some beet, radish, different type of beet, some white onions which are a bit like spring onions, ciboulette, which again are like red spring onions, and another type of radish. That's an 18-day radish. Unfortunately it's just started raining, so I'm going to have to go in for today. As you can see, I've still got quite a lot of weeding to do, and then I've got quite a lot of sowing to do. There are a few potatoes in which have started sprouting, but I need to tidy that bed up. I've got some potatoes to go in soon, so I might try to plant those tomorrow. Yeah, so I will keep a record of how we're going on. Also, I've got flowers on my strawberries here. I've got a mixture of strawberries in there, some wild ones as well. And my raspberry cane and currants from last year are all coming back to life. I need to get a few more bushes of those. And also the 2 trees have now been planted. Tony's put the wires around the fence for me, and they're both in blossom at the moment, although they're still very tiny. So I didn't get those in time, or I didn't get the wires up in time to train it. So I'm going to have to do my best with those. But that's where we are at the moment. Tony's put a little bit more seed down on his grass to green that up a little bit, although it's looking pretty good. Well, that's the end of a sculpting day, but it's not the end. It's evening. And everything's been watered. Veggies are getting their drink now. It's just been a beautiful day, but too hot to be outside for long. So, if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It does help. And please click the like button and the notification bell, and then you'll know when the next one's coming. Now firstly, my pumpkins are doing very well. Look at this, it's enormous, and it's not the only one. Now those are not planted on the ground there, they're actually planted in the end of these beds, and they've spread themselves around, which is nice that they've got the space to do that. And then these have done the same on this side. I'm not sure how many there are, but there are a few huge ones in there. So I'm really pleased with those. We're going to enjoy turning those into soups and roasting those in the winter. Also in this bed here, there have been French beans, but there's still French beans growing, dwarf beans. There's some self-seeded tomatoes, they keep popping up all over the place. They've also got parsnips sown in there for the winter. quite a few onions in that bed as well. This bed here is doing really well with the runner beans at the moment. Now, obviously anyone in the UK will know what a runner bean is, but they're a bit bigger than the French beans, and we slice them up and cook them. Don't know if you have those in the US, but we like to pick them when they're tender. But yes, I'm getting good crops off of those at the moment, and they're very pretty with the flowers on. Now, I did have peas in this bed. I've had a good crop of Morge 2 peas, but I've now pulled them up, and what's left are now drying for seeds for next year. So we have some more squash plants in here. Now these are butternut. I don't think I've actually got any butternuts have formed yet, but I'm sure they will because it keeps flowering. I'm sure it will do. If it looks a bit of a mess, it's because I've scattered grass clippings and leaf clippings on it to feed the soil a little bit. So yeah, we have various different tomato plants. They're all beginning to ripen up now. Lettuce, some of those are beginning to bolt a little bit now because the weather is just so hot. Under there we have a lot of white onions, beetroots, we have spring onions, what we call spring onions, scallions I believe you call them in the US. I have some more lettuce over there. Now that bed there is going to have to be sorted out next year. It's had some fruit bushes in it. You can see the raspberry ones are growing through the top of the netting that I strung over it to protect it from the birds. And I have 2 giant rhubarb plants in there. We've had several crops of rhubarb and made rhubarb crumble and things with that, so it hasn't gone to waste. But there's a lot of strawberry plants in there and they're spreading like wildfire, so I think next year I may move the rhubarb to one end and then spread the rest of the strawberry plants around the rest and move the currants. But I also need Tony to build me a proper fruit net. Anyway, moving on. We have potatoes in this bed. As you can see, we've been digging those up and using those. They're delicious. We have some parsnips from last year. They need to come out. And some seed, there's some lettuce which has gone to seed, and I have left these in purposely so that I can collect some of the seed. Now, in the herb bed, so we're going a little bit crazy in here. We've got the usual suspects, the sage and the rosemary bushes. This is some coriander which I've allowed to go to seed and dry. Let's collect the seed. We've still got chives, mint, sorrel. I did have some basil in there, but I think it's died off in the heat while we've been away. And then again some more tomatoes. This one's quite an unusual, like a stripy one, very pretty. I have leeks in there which I've allowed to go to seed because the pollinators absolutely love these, as you can see. And also I will be collecting some seed off of those. Now over in that bed there I have more potatoes at the end. It's looking a little bit scruffy now because they're dying off, ready to pick them. But I've got more tomatoes. I have a cucumber plants, different types of tomatoes. These are some of the great fat ones that the French love to slice up with some cheese. You can see I have cucumbers in there. And courgettes in the corner here. Some more self-seeded tomato. They're everywhere. This was a potato bed, but it's ended up half full of tomato plants. Now this bed over here, we have some carrots. Some of those can be pulled up ready to eat. I've got lots of onions planted in here. Now they've fallen over, so they're pretty much ready to pull out. Some haven't grown very much, but I was a bit late planting those. And then I have some more courgette plants and a lot more tomato plants. So yes, some pretty courgette plants in here. There we are. And various different types of tomatoes. All doing really well. These are the yellow baby tomatoes. And I'm not sure which ones these are, but they're very dark. They tend to ripen sort of yellow and black. They taste good. So here are the French beans, and they're still producing lots of lovely French beans. And yet again, some more tomatoes. So there's bundles of tomatoes on this one. This is a huge tomato plant. And then a lot more onions. So there we have it. So we're currently cropping salad stuff, tomatoes, lettuce, cucumber, spring onions, beetroot, and we're also cropping lots of beans. So I'm just going to have a little look and see what's under this potato plant. Thought you might like to see. Not easy to film though. There we are, I can see a potato. Wow. Well, we have a few baby ones on there. That one I won't be able to use because it's a little bit green where the sun's got to it. But yeah. I'm sure there's a few bigger ones under there as well. Let's have a little look. Anyway. Oh, yeah. We definitely have potatoes. There, that's just a few. I need to dig them out properly. I need to use both hands, I think, to dig them out properly. As you can see, we do have some lovely potatoes, and there are bigger ones under there as well. Now this lovely little shelf unit coat rack was something that we bought at a local Brocante we visited. The Brocante was in Touchay, and they have an annual event, and it's always very good, so it's very popular. And we weren't the only people to go there. I've already seen things from Stephanie and Philip, they visited, and also from Patrick and Stuart from Journey to the Chateau, Chateau De Colombe. Unfortunately, none of us were there at the same time, so we didn't get to meet up. But this was something that I didn't actually film, I was buying. So I wanted to show it to you now. This cost us €45 and I'm rather pleased with that. It's got some good age to it. I quite like the patina. Anyway, it's brass, although it's not shiny brass. I'm not going to polish it so that it's super shiny. I probably will polish it up a little bit, give it a good clean. But yeah, this may be going into sheet number 2 because it would be very useful in there for people to hang their coats on and their bags. Anyway, let's go and see what else we found at the Brocante. You want to know how much it is?
Yeah.
C'est combien?
450.
450.
Oui.
Yeah, €450. I like this cabinet. Has it got a price on it?
No.
Bit of damage on the top corner. Yeah, I like the handle though. Does it all work? It does actually. Have a look on the way back. What's he made of?
I don't know, but it's bloody heavy.
So is it a metal?
Yeah.
Oh,
Could be painted
it's rather
bronze,
nice
couldn't it?
actually, isn't it? Yeah. Should we find out how much he is?
Yeah,
He's got a bit of age to him, hasn't he?
Yes.
Let's ask then. We've started at 50, turns off at 40. I like the colour.
Je vous explique. J'en voulais pas moins de 50, mais vous me dites 40. Si vous me donnez 45, il est à vous.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay, 45. Merci.
Parce qu'on va faire ça et on retrouve.
Those are nice. These.
Oh yes.
I like the coronet on the top. What do you think?
That's for sure.
Hey?
Different.
Well, they probably want rewiring.
They will do, yes.
And the mirror's gone slightly, but that all adds to it.
Yes.
Monsieur, c'est combien?
Je fais les deux 50 €.
Plus lentement?
50 €.
50. Pour les deux?
Les deux, bien sûr.
50 euros. Yes. 45 euros.
Un morceau.
What is it? Drinking fountain?
Looks like it.
Yeah, it does actually. Be a good bird bath.
Lion's feet on the bottom.
Yeah. That's a nice mirror. It's beautiful. I think we've got a lot of mirrors, but that is gorgeous. How much is that one? 250. It's not bad, is it? It's not old, I don't think. A lot of hunting pictures, look. Those are rather good with the tunes. Time. That's rather a good one.
What?
Rather nice, isn't it? No consequence.
Is it 180 € nice though?
Well, I don't know about that. Not so keen on the frame. I like that one at the back with the dog with the
Yes, it's nice.
duck in its mouth. That's beautiful. But yeah, look at this lot here.
Arrête, on va repartir avec ça.
Look, I've got a deer's head, but look at all those antlers. 27 antlers. My God. Yes, Tone. Just right up your street. This is the lion that Tony loved at the Brocante, and obviously we bought it, else it wouldn't be here. So he's painted. I mean, he's super heavy, so it could be painted bronze. Can't really tell. But we just loved his face. Oh, let's turn him around in the light a little bit. We love the detail in his face, even his ribs there and the ball. We do like a lion. We have a few lions, so he's going to be added to our collection. Oh, he was €45. Well, Tony's been busy in the hallway again. It's not finished painted yet. But he's just put up one of those lamps. Have you put both of them up?
No.
Just one at the moment. One of those lamps that we bought at the Brocantes. Now the hallway's not finished yet. Tony has clad all along the hallway. It still wants decorating. There's some little shelves up there which we're going to find some trinkets for. And then we have the wooden cladding on this side of the stairs as well. So this has tidied it all up because the walls here were absolutely awful. Yeah, quite pleased. We left the chip paper up there, but it's all well stuck on the ceiling and it'll all be coated fresh paint. And I'm going to use this as a gallery for lots of finds. But in the meantime, when we went to the Brocantes at the weekend, we bought 2 of these. Oh. We can have a closer view. Right, we need to clean that mirror a little bit, Tone. But this looks amazing. Absolutely love the detail on here. We have a coronet on the top, but we also have, on the bottom, we have this crest with a knight's helmet and what looks like crossed swords, but they've got hands and a Maltese type cross on the bottom. Let's see the little hands. And also in the motif all the way around we can see an F with another coronet. Various other motifs. So I think this must have come out of a very grand house. There's a knight's helmet. It's difficult to zoom in. Yeah, I'd like to find out what that is, what that means. Anyway, Tony's refurbished it, he's checked all the wiring. And this was the original wiring, but we've checked it over and it seems to be okay. And we think that this was a candlestick holder because at some point it's been converted into an electric lamp. So I think it's pretty old. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. It's going to be lovely when the painting is finished. I'll come to check up on what Tony's up to. And he's clearing stuff off of this wall. There's a doorway has to go through there, which will become Jack and Jill bathroom. Ooh. Which will actually help strengthen this wall, although there is a beam at the top there, and another beam up the top on the ceiling. And it's looking a bit rotten in the corner there, sorry.
Yes.
Is that dry rot or wet rot?
Yeah, a bit of both.
A bit of both, oh dear. Oh dear. I think it's going to go.
Oh yes.
What's holding it up then?
There's another lot.
Right. Ah, here we go. Oh.